Hey, what's up? It's Jim, and I just finished watching the 85th Academy Awards, or rebranded and called the Oscars this year. The Oscars just happened, and I guess my reaction to them. I actually didn't mind Seth MacFarlane. I don't think he's a great host. He's not a Billy Crystal host, and I noticed he's doing his Family Guy cutaways a lot in the beginning, which was quite annoying. The joke he did with Christopher Plummer, I mean, I'm a Sound of Music fan, and that was hilarious. I really love the Sound of Music joke. There are a couple jokes I thought he nailed. He was very present. I don't think I've seen an Oscar host be that present during an Oscar ceremony, and he was almost too present. I would like to not see you for a little bit. They put him in there because they want, you know, the younger people to watch, and thus it's called the Oscars and not the 85th Academy Awards. And they really want to have this be a big awards year because there are so many films nominated that people had actually seen. I think they did a good job in updating it without ruining it, but it's still too long. I never ever understand why it starts at 8:30. Awards wise, I was surprised by some. I knew this was more of a wild card year. Most years we're pretty sure who's gonna win months in advance. You know, Daniel Day-Lewis we all knew was going to win, and Anne Hathaway, and even Jennifer Lawrence, but I was kind of surprised by Ang Lee especially. I didn't think Ang Lee was going to win for Best Director. Even though I said in my Oscar prediction video that Christoph Waltz would win, I didn't expect that really. Everyone was saying Robert De Niro. I was kind of thinking Robert De Niro after a while because I had heard so many people say it. Same with Best Original Screenplay, although I was fairly confident about Tarantino winning. There wasn't anything I was really that upset about. Well, okay, I was actually quite upset that Roger Deakins didn't win for Best Cinematography, but I still think Life of Pi is a very well shot film. It's a very beautiful movie. I guess if it was going to lose to any of thing, that would probably be my second choice among the nominees at least. I was disappointed that Brave won, even though I thought it would win. I was a little surprised that Les Mis got a sound award, like, just because some of the sound mixing was quite incredible, but then other parts of the sound were just really bad, and it's like that got to win. I don't know about that. Best Picture going to Argo. I'm fine with Argo winning. A lot of people seem to love Argo when the nominations came out, and he didn't get Best Director, and everyone was really upset by that because everyone loved Ben Affleck's direction in that. I still liked Argo. I'm not that fanatical about it as much as everyone else is. When it makes sense, it makes Hollywood look really good, and it was an entertaining and very digestible movie. The Academy doesn't like to do something that's like Amour, that's like too tough and real and like really good. Not too challenging, but also kind of intelligent, and I think Argo fits that bill very well. Only the fourth time a film has won without being nominated for Best Director. The only other 3 times that it's happened that a Best Picture winner has not been nominated for Best Director was the first Oscars that happened with Wings, which is a film I recently reviewed, then Grand Hotel, and then also Driving Miss Daisy. I was surprised that there was a tie in the sound category. It's the first time there's been a tie at the Oscars. Since 1994, there was a tie for Best Short Subject. They don't tie a lot, but it has happened before in Best Actor and in Best Actress, and now in Best Sound. I think it's the first tie for Best Sound, so that's pretty crazy. But they're both films with great sound, so that kind of worked out. I was at an Oscar party and people were discussing like if people deserve to win or if this deserves an Oscar and things like that. And for the most part, I like don't really care because it's just like if you're ever gonna make a list or an award show, you're gonna upset somebody, and that's just like these certain people's opinions, and my opinions will probably, they disagree with that, and just like there's no way to keep anyone happy. At the same time, I was really annoyed that Roger Deakins didn't win. They're silly, they're stupid, they're very much a way for movies in Hollywood to self-promote themselves. People get so upset about them, and as much as people are like they don't matter and they're stupid, I think they really kind of do matter to people in a silly way, you know? Anytime you see people get upset about them, I think it's like they certainly matter to them, because if you're gonna even have a passionate response about something, it matters to you in a certain point, you know? It bothers you just a little bit, and I think that shows that it means just something to you. As much as you want to ignore it, if you're into movies, you kind of just have to be into it. Being a critic and stuff, it is hard to look at it and take it seriously, and I really don't like rating things and ranking things. I just hate it. I don't even really like doing a top 10, but for some reason the Oscars is fun for me, and I kind of just get into the show of it, and I think the show of it is fun. I don't know if people would have seen Zero Dark 30 and Amour and certain films like that without this, and I think that's cool, and I like that about it. Does it mean that much to me? Do I think, you know, because Daniel Day-Lewis has 3 Best Actor Oscars. He's one of the best actors ever. No, it's just a fun little show every year. And you watch it with some friends, you have a good time, and you talk about how you don't like most of the movies that are nominated and things like that. And that's just, you know, that's just the Oscars. You're always going to have your like Raging Bull lost to Ordinary People and Citizen Kane lost to How Green Was My Valley. And it's just, that's always going to be there, but that's part of the fun for me. And, you know, it's not the be-all end-all of film. It's not Pauline Kael or something. It's not somebody who I look at and look at their opinion as being something that really influences me. But it's definitely something that has been built up and I think keeps the movie industry going and just fun. And like, I got to wear this suit, you know? I had to go to a party. I get to do all this stuff. So I think I just enjoy the fun of it. I don't really take it that seriously. I don't get that upset for most of them. I guess I did get upset for Roger Deakins because I thought, you know, as I said, I feel like maybe he did deserve to win. And maybe, see, it's like, as much as we're like, oh, that sucks, you're like, you still get mad that Kubrick didn't win. So I think you're still giving it a little bit of power, whether you want to admit it or not. And take note also that, you know, when you support the Oscars and all this stuff, a lot of the money that they make from this award show goes to film preservation. You can say whatever you want about the Oscars, and you can hate them, but the fact that you're watching them is helping silent film and 30s films and 40s films, and even the films for now, be preserved. So it's actually kind of good, them making money at least. Or at least in that respect, I guess. So that's my reaction to the 85th Academy Awards, or rebranded and called the Oscars. And if you would like to talk about them and comment and talk about what you didn't like about them or who you thought should have won or whatever, then comment below in the comments and subscribe if you would like to. And